Hi there, and welcome to the Creatives Get Real podcast. I'm Roben-Marie Smith.
And I'm Sandi Keene, and these are real conversations about the creative life. Hey, Roben-Marie, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to see more about your studio update. So,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I want to see all about it. In fact, I want a private virtual tour
Oh,
because
of course.
I
You
think I'm
get
special.
You are. You get it. Yeah, where I'm at right now is the big paper dump. Where does all the paper come from? Bins of paper, and I'm so overwhelmed that I just want to go and shove it into a closet and forget it's even there. But I have to go through it. It's like they're like the what was that? The Goonies? Were they the magpies or what were they? That you put water on them and then they just kept the gizmos or whatever they were. Y'all that
Yeah.
are 80s people know this, but others don't. But yeah, they just like multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
how does this happen? Where all this paper just keeps growing and multiplying. But anyway, that's what I'm working on, still working on right now. I'm getting there.
Have you come up with a system for it?
Yes, I have all these baskets sitting out. And so I'm kind of like going through, I'm like, okay, that's old paper, vintage paper, like letters and stuff.
Mm.
This is stuff that I've like my baked and dyed paper. And these are, so yes, I'm kind of trying to do it that
Okay.
way. I'm really just going to have to take the best of those categories and leave those in the studio for now. The rest can be stored. And then when I'm ready to go out and get them again, they'll be organized where I won't have to go through these big old bins full of stuff. So,
do you have a size, like if it's less than, let's say, a playing card, do you
Mhm.
throw it away? Or are you a
No.
keeper of everything?
Yeah, I'm going to keep unless it's like really, really tiny because
So
of,
like
of
postage
collage
stamp?
work. Yeah. Yeah. Some, unless it's really, really pretty, then I have to keep it. And
Oh
then
my
it just
word.
keeps getting bigger. Yeah. But I'll try to organize those in a better way. I've got some trays that I think I can lay them out in the bottom and I can kind of sort through them a little bit better. But when
Okay.
you're working in collage, you want those little precious pieces because they look so good. But yeah,
Hmm.
but I have to draw the line somewhere. It's out of control. It truly is. Yeah.
Yeah,
What can
I
I
know
say?
that we really will get to our topic today, by the way. But when I was in scrapbooking, you were supposed to save absolutely every little bit from postage stamp up. And I got to the point where if it wasn't half a sheet, I didn't keep it because of that same
Wow.
thing where,
Yep.
you've got all these files that are just,
Hmm.
paper by color. And I'm
Yep.
like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. So if it's not half a sheet, goes in the garbage.
Oh,
Done.
wow.
I know, I'm brutal.
Half a sheet is still kind of precious, isn't it? Yeah. Unless
Yeah,
it's like, now I think with scrapbook paper or something that I purchased maybe, but if it's something I made, like I don't know that I can part with that. Now, what I can see me doing though is like cutting maybe half that sheet and then it goes into the organized studio part. But then I
Mhm.
still have the other part of it that I can come back to later when I use up maybe that. But you
Right.
know what? I don't have a perfect system. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I
We'll
don't think
see.
anyone has a perfect
No.
system. I don't
Mm-mm.
think it exists.
I think what would be awesome though is if there was a way to, in your house, put one of those like children's swimming pools, those plastic pools, like you just have
Hmm.
that somewhere, maybe it's in your studio, you have a big enough studio space, and all the paper is just in there. And then you could just get in it and
You
just
just
start
dive
sorting.
in.
You just start rummaging around, in your bare feet, and you just start looking, and you're like, yeah, these, and these. And then you just pick the pile up, you take it to the art table, and then you work. And then you don't have to worry about cleaning it up because you just throw it right back in, whatever the leftovers are, back into the little swimming pool.
Oh my
I don't
gosh, I couldn't stand that, not for a second.
Well, I certainly don't have any room for that. It'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't want that in my house, but I think that would be kind of cool. And you just see
Okay.
all that beauty. It's
Sounds like hell to me,
like
but
an
whatever.
ocean of beautiful papers. Yeah, I don't know. Others are probably
Okay.
going, you're crazy. What is wrong with you?
Well, everybody's different.
Yeah.
We're on Zoom, so you can actually see behind me. My studio, because I'm in the middle of 16 things, is a disaster. And I can't look because it bothers me so much.
And see, and what I'm seeing is like, yeah, that's not so bad.
Oh,
It doesn't look like your
Lordy.
normal table, but I can see your floor. I don't know that you've reached the point of no return yet, dear.
Oh no, the only thing on my floor right now is a dog.
See, but no. Then you're not disaster yet. That you haven't reached that point yet. But I know for you, this is not good.
This is not good. I can't create a mess.
Oh,
I can't.
I love it.
Anyway, let's get to our topic today.
Yes.
Oh, I talk about this every day that I coach. And I know that you're facing this too with your people,
Mm-hmm.
everyone who is trying to navigate social media and the pressures of social media. So, our topic today is social media, how to cope and how to stop the behavior that is making it far, far worse.
Yes.
Would you like to start? Because I have a lot to say. And if I don't let you start, you may not get a word in.
Well, and we can break this down into some little like subcategories, I think, because we were talking earlier about it. We were talking about this obsession with the follower number, the follow, the unfollow, and that constant battle. It's funny that we're bringing this up because recently, the social media, I've had to really try to be off of it as much as I can, and only not so much Instagram, but Facebook and Twitter. And I finally made the resolution to say, I'm done with Twitter. Like, I'm not posting on it anymore. I don't want to just like close the account out, but I'm not posting on it anymore. First of all, that is like my least favorite. And it was like getting me no traffic whatsoever. It's like, why am I wasting my time here? Because somebody might see it. No. And so I was just like, I'm done with Twitter. So I'm not going to be posting I have not posted there and I won't post there. That's my plan. With Facebook, I did a lot of revamping on things and just kind of looking at it and going, all right, how much time do I really want to spend on here? Are my people here? And am I seeing traffic moving to my website from Facebook? And and this is not advice that's meant for everyone. These are only things that you have to look at your own self, your own sanity, and your own account and your goals and figure out what's going to work for you. And figure out where should I put my time and energy, because you can't be everywhere effectively all at the same time. It's just too much work. And so for me, cutting back on Facebook was right for me, because that's not where my traffic is coming from. Getting people to my website is coming from Pinterest and Instagram. So if that's what's working, how can I make that better? And as far as the follow thing, guys, I mean, my advice to my members and my students is you've got to stop looking at them, for one thing. You can't continually be obsessed with that, because for every 100 people that follow you, there's going to be 60 of them are going to unfollow you. It's just the way it's done. And you are not required for every follow to follow back. If you look at that account and it's something you love and you want to see that in your feed, then follow. If it's not, don't follow. You're not obligated to do that. And I think sometimes we get that mindset, especially early on when we're trying to build. It's like, well, I need to follow all these people because, they're following me. No, follow what you love and what you want to see in your feed. And stop looking at the numbers. Yeah. Because, I've been on Instagram a while. Yes, my followers are high. But yes, I still go in there periodically and just look. And guys, there are lots of people who unfollow me every single week. I get the follows, but there's a lot of unfollows as well. So I don't want them following me if they're not going to be somebody that's going to respond to me and enjoy what I'm providing and then seek out and go, what else does she have? And want to engage with me. They're just not the ones that you want. They're seeking a follow for their follow.
Right.
It's a roller coaster, merry-go-round, whatever you want to call it. So it's, and I know you've got a lot of advice on this too, but that's my biggest thing. You just got to stop looking at the numbers, because if you're focused solely on that, then you're losing sight of what you're doing and what you're really enjoying and what your purpose is. And if it's solely to get follows, then it looks very different than what we do. It's very different than what our advice is. So, and I know you agree with that on working with your clients.
I agree wholeheartedly. And in coaching, I am working with people who have low follower counts. I have people who, when they started, had less than 100. So, I mean, I'm working with, I think everybody I work with pretty much has less than 10,000. So these are people that are trying to get to that magic 10,000 so they can swipe up.
Yep.
So, and it becomes an obsession of, yes, I got, 7 followers today, but I also got 4 unfollowers. Okay, here's what you need to know. You and every other person on Instagram is doing the exact same thing.
That's right.
Is normal.
That's right.
It's absolutely normal. If you're getting 7 followers and 37 unfollowers, we need to take a look and see what you're doing. Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as your followers are larger than your unfollowers, that's progress, and you just have to let it be. So this is what I tell my people. Social media is a fickle and abusive boyfriend. And that's exactly what it's like.
I love that.
Well, it's so true. It's the same dynamic. One day he's nice, and the next day you look and he's being mean and he's yelling at you.
Yep.
And it's a relationship that we have to navigate. If you're in a truly abusive relationship in your real life, hopefully you're leaving. Social media is the platform that we're using to build our business. And so we just have to understand what the journey is like. And it's up and it's down. And there's times when people say things to you on social media that makes you doubt everything you're doing. And you're like, why am I doing this? When someone comes along and says something unkind, and it can be really difficult. And when you're in that very beginning stage and you're growing your business or you're growing your account, it's hard not to take everything personal. The follows, the unfollows, the comments. And you just have to keep growing your skin thicker and thicker and thicker.
And that's not easy. I can't. I mean, you and I talk. I'm like, Sandi, this comment I got, I'm done. It's like, it happens, guys. I mean, even to those of us who've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
And I wanted to point this out because we're talking about this. I just brought up my insights because I want to read this.
Okay, good.
So my last 7 days, guys, my growth, I had 225 followers. Woohoo!
That's
unfollows,
amazing.
Unfollows, 112.
Right.
So I kept
half
of my follows unfollowed me. This is a consistent thing, guys. But if I'm gaining 100 people a week, 113 for that week, that's still good. Some weeks are higher and some weeks are lower. But I want you to know this is a constant thing. But I don't look at this because I'll look at this and go, well, what did I do? Why didn't they step? You can't analyze all that. You don't, but like Sandi said, if you're constantly losing more than you're actually keeping or gaining, then there may be something to kind of look at. Is it your feed? Is it your message? Is it your photography? What is it? But this is the norm. This unfollow happens every single week.
Right. And we've talked before, and let's just talk a moment about audience and finding your audience. And we have to think about those people that unfollow us. They were never our audience. They were never going to be our audience. And it is actually a very good thing that they've unfollowed. Okay, go find your people. I'm not your people. That's okay. Go find your people.
Right.
Because when I share things and I'm talking to the people who follow me, and I have a relationship with these people. I know their names. When I comment back, I use their names because I've learned them at this point, and I know who you are, and I want a relationship with you. And if that's not why you're there, unfollow me.
Right.
Just go ahead. Let's just get it over with. Go.
Break up with me. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Break up with me now. All of you. There's the door. Thank you. We'll see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just continually honing that audience. And we all know, I mean, I know that some of the people that follow me aren't who they say they are. They're not real accounts, they're fake accounts.
Like, Colonel Dennis James Smith, who has a photograph of, I don't know, General Petraeus on his count page. It's like, okay,
Right.
I know that's not who you are. And it's like, and I know you're not some, whatever. And we all get them, guys, all of us. Yes.
Yes. So, and eventually they will probably unfollow or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Here's what matters. Let's talk about what does matter. Do you. That's what matters.
Do you.
Just do you.
Yep. Stay focused on that.
Yes. Yep. Talk about your art. Talk about what's important to you. Find your audience. Let them find you. And just keep doing. Head down. Do what you're doing. Don't be distracted by the, oh my God, 35 people unfollowed me today.
Yeah, because we tend to focus on that negative way more than we do the positive. It's like, if I really dwelled on those numbers, I'd go, 50% unfollowed me. And then you were going, but you gained 50% of the ones that did. That's an increase. That's a good thing. Right. But we tend to lean towards that one negative comment or that, whatever those unfollows are. And it's just human nature, because then we're like, well, what's wrong with me? What did I do?
What did I do wrong?
They don't like me, and we want people to like us. It can be, and it will not stop. When you reach 10,000, when you reach 20,000, you will still feel the same way. You'll still be like, oh, well, that wasn't a very nice thing to say. Why did they say that? Or why am I not getting any likes on this photo? Well, maybe because nobody likes the photo. Maybe you're the only one that loves that photo. That's okay, because you love it, right? You're not posting so that you get all the likes or you get all the comments. You will, because you've got your audience, but there's going to be times when, or how about the ones where you go, I didn't think that was very good. And look at all these comments I'm getting. Wow, they really like this. Okay. You just don't know.
You cannot predict.
No.
You cannot predict ever, ever, ever. I mean, we've been at this a long time.
Yeah.
And I still cannot predict what will get, what will get lots and lots of likes and comments and what will be crickets. It's like, we've got the whole algorithm thing that no one on the planet Earth, let's just be real, no one understands that thing.
So that's why we just do us, and we just let it go. Because as long as you're consistent in that and not trying to figure out, well, how can I beat this and how can I do this? Now, granted, last week we talked about Reels, how when they come out with something new, jump on it. It's fun, jump on it and get it out there so that the systems, how Instagram's like, oh, they're using it. We're going to give you priority. That's okay, but still do you when you're doing that. Right. And I think as long as you're consistent in that, you will continue to grow, and it will happen. It's not an overnight thing. And you probably hear this too from your coaching clients. It's not going to happen overnight. It's like when one of my members launches their website and they're so, so excited. Then I get the message that says, I Googled my website, but it's not coming up in Google. Okay. That takes time. Google doesn't know you yet. They have to get to know you. They got to send out their stuff, and they've got to, whatever those feelers and all those robots that go out. And eventually it will happen. It's not an immediate thing. It's sort of like the whole idea of build the mousetrap and they'll come. What is that thing? Build it and they'll come. You build the perfect whatever.
That's Field of Dreams.
Oh, Field of Dreams. Okay. That's not a mousetrap. That's a ball field. So I couldn't remember where that came from.
Yeah, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, and you're just like, no, they don't just come. You got to let them know you're there. You have to do some things. So it's not, no matter what anyone out there tells you, oh, sign up for this and you'll get your first 1,000 followers guaranteed in a week. No, guys, that does not work. You got to do the legitimate work. And I say work, but I say what you love. Do what you love and be consistent.
Share your passion.
Be consistent. Don't post one day every month and think that you're going to grow, because that's not going to happen. So no. Yeah.
Yep. So our takeaways are expect it, expect the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go to, let's say, Disney World, because that's in our backyard, you go to Disney World and you're standing in front of Spaceship Earth, and wait, Spaceship Earth isn't a roller coaster.
Space
What's the
Mountain?
roller coaster?
Space
Yes,
Mountain?
Space Mountain. Thank you. You're standing in front of Space Mountain. Don't expect it to be a merry-go-round. It's not. It's a roller coaster. They strap you in with that harness for a reason.
Oh, I have a story about that. When my husband and I first got married, we went. I'm terrified of heights. I don't like dropping, going upside down. I don't like not seeing things. Well, Space Mountain is in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "This is nothing. This is a kiddie ride. Look at
Oh,
all
he
these
lied to you.
kids. See, it's at the Magic Kingdom, so it's the best place on earth, a happy place." And he goes, "Look at all these kids. Surely," he goes, "this is no big deal." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go on it." It was so terrifying. I screamed the entire time. I thought, somehow this thing is going to go off the tracks. I was so terrified. I was shaking so badly after we got off that. And I was like, "You lied to me. I'm supposed to trust you. You're my husband. You're my new husband." And he goes, "I didn't really think it was that bad." He goes, "You really are scared." I'm like, "Yes, I told you that." So yes, it's not going to be easy. Yes.
Right.
But we're
It
not
isn't.
lying to you. We're telling you the truth.
Right. You strap in and you do you. But yeah, it's going to be up and down.
Yeah.
And someone is going to say, I mean, I had someone send me an email this week where I had to remember the 24-hour rule. And if you haven't read that, listen to that one, go back and listen to where I had to just like step away. Because if you answer her now, it is not going to be the answer that you're going to be proud of.
Yep.
And then I have a little rule, and this is what I do when someone sends me an email where it is not kind.
Mm-hmm.
I take out all the offensive stuff. I have to reread it, pretend they didn't say those things, and just answer the question. Or just respond. And I cannot be defensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Good advice.
So take out all the rude stuff. What is the question? Answer the question kindly and go on your way.
And it's not easy. I mean,
It is not
and
easy.
we all get this. This happens to all of us. We get, because I mean, there's times I've even reached out to you, go, "Sandy, I have no idea how to respond to this."
Yes.
I mean, I just am so blindsided sometimes by what people say. And it's easy, I think, too, for people to criticize and not be kind behind a computer.
Sure.
They probably would never be that way to your face. And if you've got a friend, which I do in Sandy, I'll reach out and, "Dude, I need to talk about this because I'm really upset," or "I don't know what to do. Talk me off the ledge because this is really hurt." And so it's just a reminder that this happens to everyone. So you just know that, and it's not personal. It's something that other person's dealing with. It's something other than you. And so you just have to let it just kind of go. And it's not easy, guys. It's not. We deal with it too. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. Like they didn't understand something.
Sure. Yeah.
And when you explain it to them, they're like, "Oh, thank you so much." And you're like, "Wow, we've come a long way from what you first said to, oh, thank you so much."
Exactly. It's like, wow, why couldn't you just ask me the question? It would have been so much more, Yeah, but you're right. And so along with that, you're going to have far more of the kind emails, of the kind comments and messages. And I think it's just human nature for us to pick out that one. And it just, it
stings.
It does. So it stays with you. Yeah. But it's a process. And we've talked about this before. You just have to be patient, and you have to just keep doing you and stay focused. We've talked about staying in your lane.
Yep.
Don't look at other accounts that have 100,000 followers. Just don't. Stay in your own lane. And it's easy to go, "Why am I not growing? Why is this not happening?" You're you do you. And your people will find you, and you'll engage with them, and that will continue to be nurtured and will grow.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yep.
And the other thing too is like you had this point we were talking about, we talk about commenting back and engaging. If somebody comes into your home, that's great. You've got them here. Well, offer them tea or offer them something to drink. Give them a comfy seat to sit in and talk with them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be going, yeah, check that person off. Okay, you go to the back. Now I'm waiting for the door for the next person to come in. You have to be, and again, as you grow, it's harder to do that because you've got
Mm-hmm.
so many, but you can still periodically even do more. I heard this from somebody and I don't know where it came from, and I thought it was a great idea. I think I heard it on a podcast. And granted, it would be very difficult to do this for everybody, but what if there was a way for you, let's say on Facebook, you see that, oh, so-and-so's gotten a birthday today. Then you pop over to their Instagram feed and you send them a DM, either a video or an audio, and you just say, hey, just want to say happy birthday today, but do it more than just posting it on their Facebook. Maybe you literally go to their Instagram and you reach out and just, and I'll tell you, I love getting audio DMs. Love it. There's one artist that she always audio DMs me and I just love it. It doesn't take that much longer really than to type something out and just send a verbal message. So just little things, that you can do. Yeah.
That's an awesome idea. I don't even think I knew that existed.
Mm-hmm.
That you can audio DM someone.
Make sure your app is updated. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
That was from last week. Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
If you didn't listen, you need to go back and listen. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Anytime that you can make someone feel special, it's worth, that minute that it takes to do that.
And guys, there's times when just by answering, I'll get the response of, oh my gosh, you actually answered. And I'm thinking, or they're like, oh, you answered so quickly, or some of them are just surprised that you even respond, which, that's a positive thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. All right.
So
good talk.
Do you.
That's our takeaway. Do you.
Yes. Stop looking.
Stay in your own lane. Yep.
Do you.
All
right. Good one.
All right, guys, we enjoyed it. Until next week, have a good one.
All right, take care. I'm hungry.
I am too. I'm looking at the clock going, ooh, it's 11:30. It's time to eat.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Creatives Get Real.
We love hearing from you. So hop on over to Instagram and leave us a comment. And we also appreciate reviews on iTunes.
And you can find me, Sandi Keene, at sandykeene.com and my classes at popupartclasses.com.
And you can find me, Roben-Marie Smith, at robenmarie.com. And if you're looking for and need tech support, check out my membership site, makerstechu.com.